Hello, it's me again for part 2 of my Honeymooners Lost Episodes VHS collection. We left off with volume 13, now we got here volume 14. It has like one of the two hilarious episodes. Hair Raising Tale from May 8, 1954. In this one with Ralph, when Ralph was eating lunch at the park, all of a sudden he saw two con men fighting over the formula thing, and so Ralph got the idea of just getting the money so he can make his hair restorer. And all of a sudden, when he was testing it out, the hair restorer thing, it turns out to be a failure. When Ralph and Norton makes the formula, you know what he tried it out to? His boss, Mr. Marshall. And so that's why he lost all his hair. Oh my God. Then it has the Fingerman episode from November 28, 1953. In this one, when Ralph Cranston was just a hero, he saw a killer going on the bus, and also the killer was going into the Cranston's apartment trying to finish the job on him. Oh my God. It has a TV Classics promo and the address for MPI information. Yep. This is another ex-rental tape. Now we got here a 15 volume. Yep. On this volume has a hot dog stand from October 10th, 1953, the one with the Crandons and Nortons were investing to have a hot dog stand, and turns out to be a total failure. Then we got Alice Plays Cupid from January 17th, 1953. And then also on this tape has a TV Classics promo. This tape looks like it's in great condition, and this is not an ex-rental tape. Made in USA. Probably made by Sony. Now we got here volume 16 in the series in mid-1986 release. On this volume it has College for Sale from January 23rd, 1954. In this one with the Crandons and Nortons were looking at in one of those colleges for like the winter, and all of a sudden they got like the wrong college. Oh my God! It turns out to be a total nightmare. Then we got the Jelly Bean episode from November 22nd, 1952. In this episode, when Ralph was counting all the jelly beans to put that into the jar so he can win something from the contest. Then it has a TV Classics promo, and this copy is a 1989 reprint. It has the FBI warning scream at the end of this tape. Yep. Then I got here my third favorite volume I like in the Lost Episodes. Volume 17. It has The Principle of the Thing, air dated on the day after my dad's birthday, from April 30th, 1955. In this one, when the Crandon's apartment was falling apart, he was trying to sue the landlord. So the way when Ralph has to try to get attached to their landlord, Ralph has to spend all his rent money for improving his apartment, trying to make it neater. And then guess what? The landlord was a guest star. You guessed it, comedian Jack Benny. And then we got Alice's Aunt Ethel from March 14, 1953. And also on this tape it has the FBI warning screen from WCI Home Video. And it goes right into the TV Classics promo at the end. And the writing address to MPI Home Video. That happens to be my fourth favorite Lost Honeymooners episode volume. Then we got here volume 18 in the series. It has The Hypnotist from January 29, 1955. In this episode, when Ralph and Norton were about to be going to that convention, Alice is refused, gives Ralph the money, so that's why Ralph and Norton has a scheme to get the money so they can spend it on their convention. And then he calls the hypnotist to try to make her hypnotize. A little did they realize later on the train heading to Chicago, all of a sudden, all the money they just got from Alice, it was gone. She made a booby out of them. Yep. And whenever they hear the word Chicago, they just start to scream. Then we roll on to Grown Warm Cleaning from June 27, 1953. And it goes to the TV Classics promo and the FBI warning scream at the end. There's got to be 1989 reprint of this volume. Then we got here volume 19 in the series. It has Two Men on the Horse from May 29, 1954, the day of Bob Hope's 51st birthday. That year he did Casanova's Big Night. In this one, with the when Ralph lost the money that belongs to the treasury of the Raccoon Lodge, Ralph has an idea to get back the money. He has to go to the track. But little did he realize they bet on the wrong horse. Then we got the checkup episode from October 28, 1956. In this one, where Ralph is trying to fool the insurance company so Alice will have insurance, but little did he realize he tricked the bus company examiner, try to fit for his new job by pretending for having him drunk. And this one had the FBI warning scream at the end after the TV Classics promo. This tape has got to be a 1989 reprint. Then we got here volume 20 of the series. It has promotion from January 22nd, 1955, when Ralph got promoted being a cashier at the Gotham Bus Company, and he when he closed his safe by accident, showing it to Norton, he forgot to put the money in, so he has to bring the money home. Then they got Hot Tip episode, the one with Ralph thought he was a bookie. That was from April 11, 1953. And little did I realize this tape is the 1990s reprint. It has the ink label on there. God, Suncoast used to have one of them. I used to buy them in Suncoast back when I was a kid. Then the next one we got here is the 21st volume, is the 1986 release. It has Boys and Girls Together from April 23rd, 1955. And this one, with Alice decides to spend more time with Ralph when that neighbor was pushing into Alice's head about having a romantic dinner. When Ralph didn't like the idea. So when Ralph and Norton decides to outsmart their wives, so they can just not to take them, not to go out with them just anymore. Then we got here the anniversary gift from February 22nd, 1953. In this one, they are making a little mistaken identity about the anniversary gift. Yep. And this one has the FBI warning scream at the end. It's an 89 reprint. Then we got here volume 22 is the last one of the Honeymooners Sitting Episodes tapes. On this one it has This Is Your Life from January 16th, 1954. And this one with Ralph is so jealous at Alice is going out with someone else. But my favorite scene I like when Ralph and Norton were at the Italian restaurant looking for the guy who was going out with Alice, but little did he realize he punched the wrong person. So he has to find someone else. So the right answer was the guy who was the promoting This Is Your Life. That's when Ralph caught the guy, and that ruins everything. because that's Rob Crandon for his jealousy. Then the Halloween party from October 31st, 1953, the one they're about to go out to do like trick or treating or whatever. Yeah. Then this one has the FBI warning scream at the end. This is like 1989 reprint. Now we got you one of the Honeymooners specialty tapes. Let's start with the best of the Lost Honeymooners episodes, Volume 1. And this is the 1985 release from MPI Home Video. It has like so many clips of the Lost Honeymooners episodes ever put on. Yep. This is a late 85 release, and it has some clips like Songs and Witty Sayings, The Next Camp, Expected Father, Little Man Who Wasn't There, Gang Called on Account of Marriage, Ralph's Sweet Tooth, and many more clips from like the Lost episodes. Now we got, here's the great one. That was a 1987 release from MPI Home Video. It's only a 90-minute tape. It has like all the clips that Jackie Gleason did from the Cavalcade Stars and the Jackie Gleason Show and the memorable Honeymooners skits. This is the ink label. Originally, it was a sticker label from 87. However, this is a 1989 reprint. And it has the FBI warning scream at the end. At the time, for the home video release of the great one, that was after when Jackie Gleason died at 71. After he did his last movie with Tom Hanks in Nothing in Common. The next one we got is the Jackie Gleason's Honey Bloopers. And it has like all the memorable the clips for at least for 1 hour. Like from the Jackie Gleason Show and some Honeymooners skits. Has the ink label. This is the 1989 release, and it's got to be from the early 1990s print. Now we got here, my favorite Honeymooners tape I like was The Greatest Battles. 1989 release. I like some memorable Honeymooners argument scenes, like from the Gang Called the Count of Marriage, the Boys and Girls Together, and I like the Reginald Van Gleason skit when he was doing the rock and roll thing, and also the house starts to be collapsing, playing a loud rock and roll music. Here's another one, has the ink label. This tape has got to be printed around the early 90s. Oh boy, are you fat. Now we got here's the Honeymooners Valentine's Special from 1989 release. I think it's in 88, and it also has some clips in one of the Lost ones, like the This Is Your Life and Expected Father. And it also has like one of the Valentine skits, like the Jackie is in love with some girls in there. In 1969, Bob Hope made a movie with Jackie Gleason on how to commit marriage. Yep. This is the ink label. This tape has got printed around the early 90s. God, I love these Lost episodes. Then we got here's the Honeymooners, like the Rob Crandon's Greatest Schemes. Right on this tape it has some memorable clips from like the Lost ones, like Move Uptown and the Great Jewel Robbery and Reginald Van Gleason's double trouble. Yep. 1989 release. Ink label from early 90s. And here's the added bonus for you. Like this is the Jackie Gleason's America C magazine. This is from Good Times Home Video release, part of the Golden TV Classics series in 1986. This thing was aired in 1962. And this is the one with Reginald Van Gleason. We're doing the Untouchables musical skit. Then Joe the bartender talks to Crazy Dugan with a "Hey Joe, hey Mr. Danny." Talks about the Hustler. Then the Honeymooners skit with Art Carney when they're doing like the vacation in the basement. And did you know during the 1960s The Jackie Gleason show was off the air in New York. It was moved to Florida, and that's how they did the Honeymooners in color, with some musical numbers and just everything. And one of the Lost Honeymooners episode had like a musical number was "What's Her Name" when it's singing one of these days, pow! I love that. Now, this is the last one before we end this video. The box set of the Honeymooners Lost episodes, all in 12 tapes. And this tape set was in 1995. And I paid good money on this wonderful collection. I got it from when I was in the old flea market in New York. Now I got to open up the set, and I got to start with this. The first tape on this set is the history of the Lost episodes first season. And it has like one of the memorable clips like Dinner Guest and Suspense. It's only a 30-minute tape, and show you what the tape label looks like. Yep. The only ones I don't have is volumes 23 and 29, because they are actually hard to find of these Lost Honeymooners tapes. I think it's volume 23 to 28. Now we got here is volume 29. It has one Big Happy Family from April 9, 1955. The one with the Crandons and Nortons moving into their new apartment. But after they got their new apartment together, they were not getting along with each other. I like the part when they're eating the breakfast together. Yeah. What are you complaining about? You got the little one. Then they got the Lost Baby from November 11, 1952 on Veterans Day. 1995 release. This is the 29 tape with the ink label. These tape sets came out in the early 90s. Came out in the mid 90s. Like celebrating the first 10 years of the Lost Honeymooners episode came to home video. This is volume 30. It has Finders Keepers from December 8, 1956. And this one, the one with Ralph and Norton were looking for a $1,000 bill when they had to go to the automats in Manhattan. So they can buy their candy store. And then they got the two tickets for the fight from October 24th, 1953. Ink label, yep, you are a mental case. Jackie Gleason's the best pool player too when he did The Hustler with Paul Newman in 1961. This is the 31st volume in the series that has Stars Over Flatbush from April 2nd, 1955. Then it got like the Prowler from June 6, 1953. Here's the label looks like. Yep, God, I love the Lost Honeymooners episodes. One of these days, pow, right in the kisser. Then we got here a 32nd volume in the series. It has The Adoption from March 26, 1955. The one with the Crandons were about to adopt a baby. And then at the end of the episode, the adoption agency takes their baby away from the Crandons. Sad moment in this episode. Then it has Ralph's Diet from April 25th, 1953. It warms up as the weight problem episode, which is I don't have on VHS, but I have it in the DVD box set of like the Lost episodes. I'm going to show you that in the very near future. Oh boy, are you fat. Now here's the 33rd volume in the series. It has Catch a Star. In this episode, when like Ralph and Norton wants to see Jackie Gleason in person, Jackie Gleason plays two roles in there. One was the main character of Ralph Crandon, then himself. Then Art Carney plays Ed Norton. Then he plays himself when they're at the hotel in Manhattan when they went to see Jackie in person. Wow. Then we got the quiz show from October 18th, 1952. Ink label, yep. God, I love Audrey Meadows. Then we got here a 34th volume in the series. It has Songwriters on December 11th, 1954. In this one, with Ralph and Norton writes the song called My Love Song to You. And did you know, when like every time Norton plays a piano, he warms up with the Swarming River. They did that again in the 39th episode of the $99,000 Answer. Then we got Double Anniversary Party from October 13th, 1956. I love these lost ones. Humana. Ed Norton. On the Honeymooner, every time you see me on TV. Humana Honeymooner. It's a honeymooner time. 35th volume I have here. That is the Battle of the Sexes. The one with, in this one with when Ralph and Norton were stuck without their wives, so they had to clean up his apartment. It was air dated on November 13th, 1954. I like that also in this episode when Ralph and Norton were doing the rag mop. Then we got the lawsuit from March 27th, 1954. Yep. Ink label. Now we got here a 36th volume of the series. It has Brother-in-Law from November 27th, 1954. In this one, when Ralph's brother-in-law comes over and eats dinner, and then all of a sudden they got themselves like the old broken down hotel. When that's how they got Fortune for. Then they got What's Her Name from March 21st, 1953. That's not the musical one. The musical one didn't come out in 1954 with One of These Days, Pal. This is the 36 tape. Now we got here a 37th volume, and it has Santa and the Bookie from December 12th, 1953. And this one with Ralph thought Alice was having a baby. That's why Ralph and Norton were just collecting money for like the charity, but little did they realize they were just collecting for like the bookmaking. Then my favorite episode on this tape is still hilarious. Getting called on the count of marriage on October 2nd, 1954. The one with Ralph was looking forward to go to the World Series of the Giants. Then all of a sudden, he got surrounded with Alice's sister's wedding. So that's why Ralph has an idea, try to not to have a wedding. So he got his fiancée eloping Alice's sister. So Ralph and Norton could go to the ball game to the World Series. And I like the part when they go into the ladder, trying to elope Alice's sister. Yeah, that was a classic one. Haven't seen it since the days of Laurel and Hardy. Ink label. Then the two more tapes, and then we are done with the lost episodes. Volume 38. On this one, it has Crannon's versus Norton's. In this one, when the Crannons were taking Norton out on Norton's birthday to a movie, they received a free television set. So that's how the Chaoses started all that trouble. When Ralph versus Norton. Then at the end of the episode, when they're at the courtroom, they decide to be friends. They didn't want the television set. Oh, I wanted you. Then my favorite episode I like on this tape, Crannon's versus Norton's, was air dated on January 15, 1955. Then the Peacemaker from March 5th, 1955. In this episode, when like Ralph is about to go to sleep, want to get up 5 o'clock in the morning, then he couldn't go to sleep because of Norton got into the fight with Trixie. So he has to break up the fight. So having like Ralph has to have Norton to go back just for Trixie. That was a good episode. I seen it all the time when I used to watch it on DVD of the 23rd volume that was released in 2000. And they're kind of out of print. And finally, before this series ends, we got here a 39th volume in the series. The final one, yep. This one we got here, it is The Man with the Blue Suit from May 1st, 1954. When like Ralph wins his poker game, he has to go find the money that's hidden from his suit, and all of a sudden his wife Alice finds the money inside of one of his pockets. Then finally, on this tape it has Vacation at Fred's Landing on June 20th, 1953, the original version. Not the second one. The second one was on the 11th volume earlier that I showed you. And that was the one with the Crandons and Nortons went on their vacation to Fred's Landing. So their wives doesn't like to go to Fred's Landing. They want to go to Atlantic City. Yep. And this is the last one of the Honeymooners Lost Episodes tapes. And this is the 39th volume. Yep. So that includes of my Lost Honeymooners Episodes VHS tapes. We'll see you again next time when I have like more of the VHS tapes that showed you, and trying to subscribe like both videos that you do like of the Lost Honeymooners Episodes VHS series. Until then, this is Danny Drusky as your cameraman saying, thanks for sticking around, trying to subscribe, and write comments about it. And baby, you're the greatest. Good night, everybody, and enjoy these videos, and away we go.